the Black Deaths. Churchill made denial of the Bengal famine, though others were very much aware of the food shortage in India. He didn't bother to think over it. He restricted the ships from importing food grains from other countries, which were availed with. He bankrupted India for his war policy and used the country as his military base in spite of starving it. Churchill even burned up the paintings of the real condition of Bengal during the famine made by the painters of Bengal itself. Though later, the photography of the 1943 Bengal famine came to the eyes of every other countries, and Winston Churchill were removed from his position. After listening to it, the brief biography of Sir Winston Churchill, you all will come to think that I am here to say all those glorious deeds of Winston Churchill and to girl him up with his shining deeds for his country. But the fact was not that. We think that before moving to the darker sides and black deeds of Sir Winston Churchill, we should know who the person was. And he was a person with brutal dictatorship. And this beastly brutal nature of him rise to his heights during the Great Bengal Famine of 1943, where we can have many of his quotations relating to the people of India. Those are full of hatred. For example, I hate Indians as a beastly people with a beastly religion. Now, from this quotation of Sir Winston Churchill, we could know that what was his thoughts for Indians.
Churchill also has been seen to quote as blaming the famine on the fact which was in his quotation. Famine or no famine, Indians will breed like rabbits. The 1943 Bengali famine was caused by the British Prime Minister Winston Churchill's policies and not drought. A group of Indians and American researchers have found in a study published in the journal Geophysical Research Letters. The researchers came to the conclusion by using weather data to stimulate the amount of moisture present in the soil during 6 major Indian famines. Those of 1873, 74, 1876, 1877, 1896, 97 and 1899 and 1943. Defect of soil moisture is a key indicator of poor rainfall and high temperatures. According to the study, the first 5 famines were a result of a drought as concluded by the soil moisture study, but not the one that happened in 1943. There have been no major famines since independence, Vimal Mishra told CNN. And so we started our research thinking the famines would have been caused by drought due to factors such as a lack of irrigation. The 1943 Bengal famine led to the death of an estimated 3 million people and is widely believed by several historians to have been caused or made worse by British policies of the time. The study showed that though the eastern region of India experienced severe drought in the early 1940s, the amount of rainfall was above average in late 1943, a period considered to be the peak of the famine. On 16 September 1942, Churchill's senior cabinet colleague Leo Amery had recovered in his diary. Winston burbled away endlessly, the general theme being that it was monstrous to expect that we should not only defend India and then have to clear out, but be left to pay hundreds of millions for the privilege. Emery also wrote, "It is an awful thing dealing with a man like Winston, who is at the same moment dictatorial, eloquent, and muddle-headed." He also wrote, "I'm not sure that I ever got into his mind that India pays for the whole defense, including the British forces in India, or that there is no possible way of reducing these accumulating balances except by stopping to buy Indian goods or employing Indian soldiers outside India."
Now coming to the Bengal of 1943, the government of India would subsequently calculate a gap between rice production and consumption of 2 million tons in Bengal alone, with a 3.5 million ton shortage in India overall, including export and defense requirements for the fiscal year that ended on 31st of March 1943. Here we can have one of his quotation about Bengalis. "The starvation of anyhow underfed Bengalis is less serious than study Greeks." On 5th of January 1943, the Prime Minister had slashed the number of ships operating in the Indian Ocean area. Therefore, according to Madhusri Mukherjee's book of 2011, Churchill's Secret War, the British Empire and the ravaging of India during World War II, notes that the famine was caused by heavy exports of food from India. As the famine got worse, she wrote, 70,000 tons of rice were exported from India between January and July 1943. As a result, the famine were worsened. Apparently, stung by the disapproval emanating from the United States, Churchill made on November 11, 1942, what would become his most quoted pronouncement in India. "We mean to hold our own," he declared in Parliament. "I have not become the King's first minister in order to preside over the liquidation of the British Empire." According to Amery, the next day he went off the deep end in a state of frantic passion on the whole subject of the humiliation of being kicked out of India by the beastliest people in the world next to Germans. Therefore, Winston Churchill was seen to be as a brutal of brutalist of British Empire who turned India, especially Bengal, into a trash.
So guys, the conclusion of this piece that I have actually delivered today, So basically what exactly happened right at that part of time, which I have just described it right on this video. So the conclusion that was that youngest generation don't know about the contribution of Dr. Mukherjee in the freedom movement. This is not the mistake of the generation. However, in history books has never mentioned about the contribution of Dr. Mukherjee's. The Congress government never gave recognition as he deserves. He joined in Hindu Mahasabha in 1939 and he became a president in 1944. When the Famine of Bengal arrived in 1943, organized a large scale of relief work. When M.A. that was Muhammad Jinnah introduced the two-nation theory by dividing India and creating Pakistan, Mr. Mukherjee opposed with tooth and nail. So this was basically the conclusion. That means again, you can know right that how this history things has actually played, because this books never mentioned what exactly his contribution was there during this Indian freedom movement. And that's the reason, right, that younger generation doesn't know that what kind of the contribution he did and what was the effect of Churchill. So that's all from my end today, guys. Thank you so much.